Los Angeles, California, I'm Dr. Ryan Ava. I know it might be hard to believe given the state of our politics over the last decade, and particularly at this very moment in time, but the members of Congress do indeed have a code of ethics that they are bound to follow. It's a long and quiet through document. It consists of no fewer than 22 clauses and an abundance of subclauses. The Code of Official Conduct for the House holds its members to certain rules regarding finances, campaign funds, compensation, relationships, and who they hire. And more as a general rule, our federal politicians and their staff are expected to avoid criminal activity. But as we know, those who make the laws don't always follow them. And that couldn't have been more true and evident than back in 2005 and 2006, a year of sleaze and corruption in Congress. From 2005 to 2006, just ahead of the midterms elections, 4 Republican congressmen resigned as a result of ethics scandals and criminal indictments. Democrats portrayed the Republican Party as enmeshed in a quote culture of corruption. You had Congressman Duke Cunningham, who resigned in 2005 after admitting to accepting more than $2 million in bribes and pleading guilty to federal charges of bribery, mail fraud, wire fraud, and tax evasion. Congressman Mark Foley was accused of sending teenage boys sexual explicit text messages. He didn't deny the allegations at the time, but he was never criminally charged. House Majority Leader Tom DeLay resigned after a Texas court charged him with violating campaign finance laws and money laundering. DeLay was also connected to prominent lobbyist Jack Abramoff, whose downfall took out several lawmakers and congressional staffers as well. Abramoff pleaded guilty to conspiracy, fraud, and tax evasion for defrauding mainly Native American tribes that were trying to develop casinos on their reservation. The Republican Congressman Bob Ney resigned in 2006 after pleading guilty to several charges in connection to the Abramoff's scheme. Several other Republicans lost re-election that year because of their proximity to or their controversy or scandals of their own. Now, the Democrats did have a few scandals of their own that year, including the Congressman William Jefferson, who was charged with accepting bribes and engaging in money laundering in a bizarre case that involved FBI agents finding tens of thousands of dollars in his freezer. The so-called culture of corruption within the Republican Party in 2006 led to a sweeping victory for Democrats, who reclaimed the House and the Senate, and with the renewed power, the House Democrats decided to, I guess you could call it, to drain the swamp, long before someone else made that phrase a false campaign promise. In 2008, the Democrats established something called the Office of Congressional Ethics, that is nonpartisan independent entity that reviews allegations of misconduct by members of the House of Representatives. It serves a difference than the House Ethics Committee, the fundamental difference between the office and the Ethics Committee being that the board members of the Office of Congressional Ethics are private citizens and not members of Congress. As stated on the OCE website, the mission of the OCE and its board is to assist the House in upholding high standards of ethical conduct for its members, officers, and staff, and in doing so, to serve the American people. Now, the Office of Congressional Ethics reviews claims and allegations against House members but cannot act any further than that. When appropriate, though, the office refers investigations to the House Ethics Committee for further review. Now, both Republicans and Democrats have argued in the past that the Office of Congressional Ethics holds too much power, but it has been imperative to accountability and transparency in Congress. It's a necessary part of the checks and balances on this democracy, and yet since its inception, Republicans seeking to avoid independent scrutiny have tried to abolish the Office of Congressional Ethics, and this year is no different. In the House Republican rules package, there are several clauses that would essentially gut the OCE and render it nearly useless. The new rules would limit the ethics office and make it harder for it to do its job. Allow me to state the irony here. The Republican Party, a caucus void of a working moral compass, and bursting at seams with conspiracy theories, big lie promoters, insurrection sympathizers, and one man who might actually be a pathological liar who just got sworn in last week. The Republican Party wants to shield those people from ethics investigations. You would think an incoming majority would want to highlight its commitment to ethics, not try to skirt it. which is why the timing of this move is notable. Just a few weeks ago, before the last Congress adjourned, the House Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection referred several Republican members of Congress to the House of Ethics Committee for refusal to comply with subpoenas. That was a pipe dream because now the Republicans control the House and the Ethics Committee. They were never going to investigate their own in connection with the attempted coup of the US government 2 years ago. But you know who could? The Office of Congressional Ethics. Unless, of course, it is taken down to its studs. It seems the culture of corruption lives on. To support my work, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Also, please don't forget to hit the bell icon so you wouldn't miss any of my new videos. Thanks for watching.